The following segment is sponsored by Greenville Chamber.
Even in these uncertain times, the Greenville Chamber is still revving its engines. Carlos Phillips, President and CEO of the Greenville Chamber, joins us this morning. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Margaret.
Absolutely. We know the Chamber's doing great things to keep serving citizens and supporting local businesses. You've just adapted the way you're doing that work, right?
We have. We've prided ourselves in being a business solutions provider, a resource for businesses that they can turn to when they need information, resources, and assistance in growing their business. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we have had to pivot a little bit in terms of how we deliver a value, and we've become a bit innovative in how we deliver that value now.
Yeah, you've got to be. And as we work toward an economic recovery, you've gained a real understanding of the needs in our business community. The Chamber, in partnership with the City of Greenville, conducted a survey. And what did you find out in that?
We found out a lot of good information from that survey, and I want to thank the City of Greenville and GADC for partnering with us on this survey. The survey saw information on what were the real impacts of COVID-19 pandemic on our business community. And it goes without saying, the impacts have been significant. Over 330 businesses replied to the survey. Most of those businesses, about 75% of the businesses who responded, they were small businesses with fewer than 50 employees. And half of those businesses generated less than $1 million per year in annual revenue. So while all businesses have been impacted by this pandemic, there is no doubt, and this business impact survey verified that small businesses, minority-owned businesses, and sole proprietors, the impact for them has been significantly more negative than for other enterprises.
All these businesses, they need confidence, communication, customers, and cash. So what's the percentage of the businesses applying for loans and grant assistance? And what do you want those business owners to know?
Margaret, nearly 70% of the survey respondents have applied or plan to apply for one of the provisions of the CARES Act, either the EIDL loan or the PPP loan. So a lot of interest in those programs. And what I guess I would want businesses to know right now is if you have applied and you've not received your funding yet, be patient. There's still a chance that you could receive that since Congress has voted for the second provision of that act. And then next, if you have not applied, please apply, because there is funding that is available, and you want to improve your chances of getting it. And the best way to receive some of that funding is to apply for it.
Well, as we get closer to reopening the economy, the Chamber has transitioned from talking about how to survive to talking about how to recover. There's a whole COVID-19 employer recovery guide available on your website. What's in that guide?
Well, that guide, we launched that guide at the end of March, and it started as a employer resource guide. But as we now pivot to start talking more about the recovery, it is now a recovery guide for businesses. And it contains all kinds of information, updated information from the federal government, local and state government as well, that folks have found helpful, resources to help businesses not only deal with the pandemic, but now focusing on what are some tools and resources that are available to help businesses recover and thrive post-pandemic. We even have a section of the guide that allows businesses to type in a question. We take that question and we ask that question throughout our network of subject matter experts, again, to provide good information, credible information to help businesses succeed.
Another valuable resource you offer is the Community Matters webinar series. It's every Tuesday and Thursday. So tell us what happens during those webinars and how does somebody join?
We've had guests from the United Way of Greenville County CEO, Megan Barp. She was one of our first guests. Last week, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evett appeared on the webcast. We've had healthcare providers, insurance companies, again, people from throughout the business community who are providing information that can help businesses recover and thrive through this pandemic.
A lot of viewpoints too. And finally, it's important to note Greenville is open and Greenville is strong. So what does the recovery look like for local business?
Well, I think I first have to say the recovery, it'll be good, it'll be strong, and it'll be strong because Greenville, we have a very strong and vibrant business community. We had that strong and vibrant business community prior to the pandemic. We've got good muscle memory, so we will emerge from this pandemic, I think, stronger than we entered it. But I'm also happy to say that it'll take a partnership between the business and the public sectors to make the recovery a success. The Business Recovery Task Force launched last week, and we have about 20 business and community leaders on the task force, all convening to discuss ideas or discuss what needs exist for the business community and some possible ideas that can be implemented to help businesses, again, succeed and thrive through the pandemic. But it will certainly take a partnership. But Greenville was built on partnerships. We've succeeded through partnerships, and we'll continue to succeed through those partnerships as well.
A lot of good ideas coming from those partnerships, too. Anything else we didn't cover that you want to add before we go? Any positive thought to put out there?
Yeah, again, I would just like to say that for our businesses that are going through challenges right now, it's not your fault. We had an unexpected visitor, if you will, and so it's causing all of us to reevaluate how we do business and how we're going to succeed in the future. But I am confident that this too shall pass. The sun is rising. I can see morning breaking, and if we do the same things that we did prior to the pandemic, if we focus on partnerships, if we work together to get through this trying time, we'll come out better from it, and I'm confident we'll do that.
All right, excellent. All those resources we talked about are available at greenvillechamber.org. Carlos, thanks for being here with us today and for your work keeping Greenville's business community strong.
Margaret, thank you so much.